plantations, forestries, fisheries, and minings. Banten has many beaches and islands, one of which is Tanjung Lesung Beach located in Pandeglang, Banten. And then Pechang Island in Ujung Kulon, Banten. Also, Oar Island, Coral Copong, and many more. Not only the water part, but the culture of Banten is also not spared as time goes by. One of the indigenous culture in Banten is the Baduy tribe located in Lewi Damar Subdistrict, Lebak, Banten. In one of the areas of Banten, the city of Tangerang has a very wide river as we know it, namely the Cisadane River. And do not forget the tourist attractions and recreation in the Banten region, namely the Great Mosque of Banten. Many art performances, both music and dance, are held in the province of Banten. And all of that is the specialty of Banten region, which is owned by Indonesia.
Okay, all participants, there is video Banten and Unimar profile, one of the university in Banten. And the next agenda is greeting from Muhammadiyah University of Bandung Rector, Professor Dr. Insinyur Heri Suhardianto, MSc, IPU. Time is yours. Okay, all participants, we will wait Muhammadiyah University of Bandung Rector.
Can I start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
To all honorable participants and also the organizer of the summer course, online summer course. I would like to thank all of you to prepare everything for this very important activity. First of all, let us always say praise and gratitude to the presence of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, who has bestowed His grace, tawfiq and guidance, so that we can all attend this summer course, also conducted online. This course on phytotherapy will discuss about the application of plant-based therapy comprehensively, including the application and regulation involved in the development of plant-based therapy. As you may know, currently, the government of Indonesia has established a formula that serves as reference for the use of phytochemicals to accommodate phytopharmaceuticals as one of the public health care solution. By developing our own thorough natural product processing plant, we can increase the utilization of these phytopharmaceuticals product, which is of course in line with the effort of increasing the use of domestic product. Therefore, by doing this consistently, we can optimize the potential of domestic market and support the increasing global demand of natural products that are predicted by World Health Organization will continue to increase even to $5 trillion by 2050. We do hope that this course will improve the knowledge of the young minds and inspire them to explore the numerous biodiversity of Indonesia. Therefore, we can be a step closer to our idea of having an independent healthcare industry that will provide accessible, affordable, always available, and sustainable drug for our society. It is a great pleasure for me to join this summer course, and thank you for all of your enthusiasm by joining this summer course. I wish you all a very good experience and have a nice week from attending this very valuable summer course. Thank you very much. Nasrul minallah wa fathun qarib wa basiril mu'minin. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Insinyur Heri Suhardianto, MSc IPU, and all participants. The next agenda is pretest. You can see the link of pretest in the chat column, and you have 10 minutes to answer the pretest. Thank you.
May I leave because I have another activities this morning. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prof.
Prof. Thank you.
Salam.
Universitas Muhammadiyah AR Fahrudin yang baru saja disahkan pada tahun 2022 adalah penyatuan dari Sekolah Tinggi Farmasi dengan Sekolah Tinggi Teknik Mutu Muhammadiyah Tangerang. Universitas Muhammadiyah AR Fahrudin memiliki 4 fakultas, diantaranya Fakultas Farmasi, Fakultas Teknik, Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis, serta Fakultas Keguruan dan Ilmu Pendidikan. Dan tak kalah pentingnya adalah Universitas Muhammadiyah AR Fahrudin sudah memiliki fasilitas yang lengkap, diantaranya ruang ICT, laboratorium, perpustakaan, meja diskusi bagi mahasiswa, ruang UKF, masjid, kamar mandi, lapangan olahraga, kantin, dan masih banyak lagi. Muhammadiyah AR Fahrudin University is located in Tangerang. Our university is located in the province of Banten, which has a Universitas Muhammadiyah AR Fahrudin yang baru saja disahkan pada tahun 2022 adalah penyatuan dari Sekolah Tinggi Farmasi dengan Sekolah Tinggi Teknik Mutu Muhammadiyah Tangerang. Universitas Muhammadiyah AR Fahrudin memiliki 4 fakultas, diantaranya Fakultas Farmasi, Fakultas Teknik, Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis, serta Fakultas Keguruan dan Ilmu Pendidikan. Dan tak kalah pentingnya adalah Universitas Muhammadiyah AR Fahrudin sudah memiliki fasilitas yang lengkap, diantaranya ruang ICT, laboratorium, perpustakaan, meja diskusi bagi mahasiswa, ruang UKF, masjid, Muhammadiyah AR Fahrudin University is located in Tangerang. Our university is located in the province of Banten, which has a strategic area in Indonesia. Banten is located on the international water transportation route of the Sunda Strait, or Selat Sunda. The Banten province has an area of 9,662.82 square kilometers. And the population in Banten province is more than 11 million lives. In addition, Banten province also has abundant natural resources, which are suitable for planting such as agriculture, plantations, forestries, fisheries, and minings. Banten has many beaches and islands, one of which is Tanjung Lesung Beach located in Pandeglang, Banten. And then Pecang Island in Ujung Kulon, Banten. Also, Oar Island, Coral Copong, and many more. Not only the water part, but the culture of Banten is also not spared as time goes by. One of the indigenous culture in Banten is the Baduy tribe located in Lewi Damar Subdistrict, Lebak, Banten.
Okay, all participants, time is up. The next agenda is materi. But before we start, let me introduce our moderator. Team ICT, please share the CV. Okay, all participants, our moderator is Mrs. Nita Rusdiana. She attained her doctoral program degree from Institute of Technology in Mayor Pharmacochemistry at 2016 until 2021. And her dissertation is about risk assessment of triclosan in household product and cosmetic. Her last experience research published in K2 International Journal at 2021. And one of her competencies are her auditor and supervisor at 2021. For Mrs. Nita, time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Derian. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to welcome you all to Introduction of Phytotherapy from Regulation to Application in Online Summer Course 2022, held by Association of Muhammadiyah Aisyah Pharmacy Higher Education. Thank you very much for preparing yourself to join in this morning's lectures. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nita Rusdiana, and I will be serving you as your moderator in this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, Today is about the future prospect of Indonesian medicinal plans for obesity treatment. We have two speakers this morning. They are the lecturer from Muhammadiyah University, A.R. Fahrudin. The first speaker today is Mr. Ari Yuniarto, talks about obesity and its pathophysiology. He attained his doctoral program degree from the Bandung Institute of Technology, in major pharmacology. His research experiences has been done in more than 30 publications from 2014 until now. You can visit his research kit. He also received 13 grants from 2015 until 2020. He is also a reviewer in the national and international journal, which is European Journal of Medical Plans. Okay, next for the second speaker is Mr. Apoteker Abdul Aziz Setiawan, Magister Pharmacy. Okay. We talk about herbal medicine for obesity treatment. He is Vice Rector 2 in our campus. He is taking doctoral education at Pancasila University since 2017 until now. His competencies are traditional medicines, metabolomic, and halal supervisor. Okay, before the presentation begin, let me inform you how the presentation will be going on. First, Mr. Ari Yuniarto will be invited to present the material for 30 minutes. And then follows the next speaker, Mr. Aptfma Abdul Aziz Setiawan will deliver his lecture for 30 minutes also. After that, there will be Q&A session. So for the audience, if you have any questions, please mention your name and your question in chat box. After the conclusions, then the agenda is delivering the certificates to the speaker by our rector. Now, allow me to welcome the first speaker, Mr. Ari Yuniarto, to deliver the presentation. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nita. And this time I will be present my about future prospect of Indonesian medicinal plans for obesity treatment. And I have permission to show the slide. Can I be as co-host in this Zoom? Okay, have seen in your computer or laptop. Okay, have you seen?
We have.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wa syukrillah wa la haula wa la quwata illa billah. Allahumma shalli ala Muhammad wa ala alihi washabihi ajmain, amma ba'du. Good morning everyone. I respect the Rector of University of Muhammadiyah, A.R. Fahrudin, Bapak Apoteker Dr. Andes Jaka Supriyanta, M.Pharm, Vice of Rector of University of Muhammadiyah, A.R. Fahrudin, Rector of Muhammadiyah University of Bandung, Professor Heri Suhardianto, MSc APU, Aptma, the head of study program of pharmacy, the University of Muhammadiyah A.R. Fahrudin academic community, the moderator for this presentation, and the participant of summer school that I am proud of. On this occasion, I will try to share about several plants in Indonesia that have the prospect of being used as anti-obesity. And the material for this presentation is a collaboration between me and Bapak Abdul Aziz Tiawan. On this occasion, I will try to convey the side of obesity and its pathophysiology, and Mr. Abdul Aziz will try to convey the side of medicinal plants. And it is an honor for me to be able to share my knowledge at this event. And most importantly, I hope that this little knowledge has tremendous benefits for all of you. Okay. Okay, you can see in this picture, the epidemic of overweight and obesity presents a major challenge to chronic disease prevention and health across the life course around the world, followed by economic growth, industrialization, mechanized transport, urbanization, and increasingly sedentary lifestyle and a nutritional transition to processed food and high-calorie diet over the last 30 years. Many countries have witnessed the prevalence of obesity in their citizens double and even quadruple. The rising prevalence of childhood obesity, in particular for both a staggering burden of disease in individuals and healthcare system in the decades to come. Okay, yes. When you see the picture of these two babies, what do you think? A cute fat baby or a quick the opposite? A miserable fat baby. Okay, some people think that a healthy baby must be a fat baby. Perhaps many parents think that their four children will be very attractive and adorable, want to pinch them and continue giving them delicious food to make them further. But you should know that a healthy baby doesn't have to be fat. Indeed, fat babies look cute. However, fat babies are not necessarily healthy. Okay, in this picture, it's not baby, but funny or suffering. Okay, what do you think? Funny or suffering? If you say this picture is funny, wow, you are amazing. Okay, the picture you see is of course very unusual. Okay. Okay, and in Indonesia, we have Arya Permana. Okay. Okay, I will try to explain to you a little about a child named Arya Permana, whose news went viral some time ago in Indonesia. Please, those who are curious can try to search on the internet. Arya Permana is a boy who has a body weight of up to 190 kilograms. Every day, Arya consumes food and drinks that are high in carbohydrate or sugar in excess. At night, and if he finds it difficult to sleep, then Arya has to drink a bottled drink. If it is not given, then he continues to whine and cry. You can imagine that. What is the impact? Of course, Arya is obese. And Arya becomes challenging to carry out daily activities, and what's worse is that Arya has to stop going to school because he is not strong enough to walk long distance. So several attempts were made for Arya to improve his diet, exercise regularly, and undergo a series of medical tests prepared by a team of doctors. Okay, its projected rates of obesity in several countries you can see in this section a little explanation about the obesity in rate in several countries, both in America, Europe, and Asia from 1970 to until 2030. The source of the data I got came from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, in 2017. As you look at the graph, show that the United States of America occupies a leading position in the rate of increase in obesity in the world. Next, followed by Mexico and England, Canada, Spain, France, Switzerland, Italy, and temporarily in the last position, in the namely Korea. This means that both developed countries and developing countries will all become target of obesity. Okay, how about in Indonesia? Okay, according to risk testers, Riset Kesehatan Dasar 2007 until 2018, there was an increase in obese patients from 11% to 22%. Meanwhile, for overweight, which was originally 9%, continued to increase to 14%. For non-overweight patient, the initial 81% continued to decline to 65%. Definition overweight and obesity based on the World Health Organization. Overweight and obesity defined as abnormal or excessive body fat accumulation that influence human health. Nowadays, obesity is recognized as a chronic, non-communicable disease. Okay, this is obesity classification according to the World Health Organization and Asia Pacific guideline. Underweight, normal, overweight, and obese. Okay, this method to determine obesity patient, and one of the methods to determine the obesity criteria is body mass index, or in Indonesia we have known as AMT, Index Massa Tubuh. The BMI or body mass index is a measure that correlates with weight and height. BMI can calculate based on the equation body mass index equal with a mass in kilograms per height in meter square. And other method to determine obesity criteria in fashion, we can use a waist circumference method and determination of waist to hip ratio. Okay, what is the causes of obesity? Several causes include diet, sedentary lifestyle, genetic, medical, and psychiatric illness, and infectious agents. That environmental factor of a familiar nature, including ethnic food preference, eating pattern, dietary composition difference, and activity levels play a role in the etiology of obesity. Sedentary lifestyle, the amount of daily physical activity contributes to the maintenance of body weight. Other people are less active than lean people. Francis and Jeff observed that obesity is more common in lower versus upper socioeconomic groups, and that the factor that correlated with the degree of obesity was activity. So the degree of obesity was negatively correlated with daily physical activity. And genetic is fat mass and obesity, PTO, gene polymorphism, single gene mutation, especially MC4R, melanocortin 4 receptor, or DRD4, dopamine D4 receptor, and leptin. Next, medical and psychiatric illness. Several types of stress may contribute to obesity, perhaps the most studied of which is emotional stress. An infectious agent in amines potential etiology of obesity is that of infectious disease. Bray et al. Report a small number of patients who develop obesity after tuberculosis or other infection of the central nervous system that produce anatomical damage. Such bacterial infection causing obesity are rare, and the central nervous system mechanism are easily understood. Okay, this is energy balance signal integration. Okay, based on Germany et al. You can see in this slide, energy balance signal integration. In the blue quadrant, there is a simplified representation of hypothalamic energy balance regulation mechanism. Primary neurons in the arcuate nucleus include appetite and inhibiting neuron, RIT. Okay, you can see RIT. Cocaine and amphetamine stimulated receptor, transcript peptide, sorry, and POMC is a propiomelaanocortin, which release peptides that stimulate the melanocortin receptor, MC3 and MC4. MC3 or 4 receptor stimulation increases energy expenditure and decreases appetite. Okay, and this circuit is stimulated by adiposity and anorexigenic signal. Okay, you can see this. Peripheral signal related to long-term energy stores are produced by adipose tissue, such as leptin, adiponectin. And the pancreas is insulin, good hormone with incretin, hunger, and satiety stimulating effect. Glucagon like peptide 1, GLP-1, glucose-dependent insulinotropic polypeptide, GIP, and potentially oxyntomodulin, OXM, improve the response of the endocrine pancreas to absorb nutrients. And GLP-1 and oxymodulin also centrally reduce food intake. Secretin, LCT, and cholecystokinin, series PK released from the gut inhibit appetite by way of the vagus nerve, and which stimulate brain structure. And okay, this concept of metabolism. So why obesity also correlate with metabolic syndrome? Okay, this is a concept based on Zheng and Choi in 2014. Okay, obesity, increase of energy intake and decrease of energy expenditure. So this condition also increase several diseases. Okay, especially type 2 diabetes mellitus, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease on NAFLD, atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, hypertension, prothrombic state, and dyslipidemia. Okay, this is from my paper, association between adipocytokine and metabolic syndrome. So in obesity, we know that enlargement of adipose tissue have 3 impacts. Okay, first, decrease of anti-inflammatory cytokine, such as interleukin 10, adiponectin, and LCFRP5. Second, increase of pro-inflammatory cytokine, such as interleukin 1, interleukin 6, interleukin 18, MCP1. MCP1 is monocyte chemotrectin protein 1, TNF alpha, tumor necrosis factor alpha, leptin, resistin, PAA1, plasminogen activator inhibitor 1, and RBP4, retinol binding protein 4. And third, this condition is increase of free fatty acid, AFA. So three conditions have implication to increase type 2 diabetes mellitus, dyslipidemia, and AFLD, and inflammation. Okay, this based on Germany and obesity, mitochondrial dysfunction, and insulin resistance. Okay, inflammation, insulin resistance, increased oxidative stress, adipogenesis defect, and mitochondrial dysfunction. Maybe I give little explanation. In obesity, pro-inflammatory macrophages are attached to the adipose tissue deposit and release pro-inflammatory cytokines, which trigger, amongst other reactions, such as inflammation, increased oxidative stress, and mitochondrial dysfunction. Deteriorating excess lead to an overload of mitochondria with free fatty acid and glucose, which impairs multiple mitochondrial function in the ring. You can see this. And the ranges of beta oxidation leads to an increase in the reactive oxygen species, or EOS. Or in Indonesian, we know ROS, reactive oxygen species, which reinforce the mitochondrial damage and contribute to insulin resistance and adipose tissue dysfunction. Okay, this is mechanism obesity metabolic syndrome, or MITS, and NAFLD. So we know that decrease of peripheral adipose tissue have influence to release of free fatty acid in the system. So this condition also have impact to increase of muscle ER. And this condition also cause a steatotic pancreas. You can see blue arrow. This condition also increase insulin, and this condition have impact to occurs type 2 diabetes mellitus. And this is a multiple and complex system. In the stage, the last stage is NAFLD. And how about the methodologies to measure NAFLD? We we can using histopathology, not other instrument. We can confirm liver by experimentally occurs an AFLD. We can do histopathology. Okay, several maybe 2 years ago, we know that in the worldwide, we have been affected with COVID-19. So several journals explain that obesity and COVID-19 have bad condition or severity. So we can see in this diagrammatic from Satar et al. In obesity and excess ectopic fat, so have implication to respiratory system, lungs, decrease of VAV1 and decrease of VP.
Gak ada sekretaris kalau prodi sekarang.
Yang kemarin.
Lagi PKP kemarin.
Ya udah nggak apa-apa, aku aja kirim aja laporannya.
Okay. And
Nanti aku suruh anak-anak yang jilid sama contoh kan kamu pernah buat laporan.
Okay, and next condition, so increase cardiorenal stress, increase of blood pressure, increase of thrombogenic potential, and increase of diabetes. Okay, you can see this, lower cardiorespiratory metabolic reserve, plus immune hyperactivity. So the final is increase of severity from COVID-19 infection. Full of that 2 years ago, based on several journals. Okay. Okay, how about management of obesity? So diet modification and activity-based obesity treatment have low effectiveness in long-term weight loss and maintenance. Several studies suggest that adjunctive therapy in combination with exercise and nutrition therapy increase efficacy. However, some of these medications have been correlated with serious adverse effects. Orlistat is one of the two clinically approved drugs for obesity treatment and has been shown to act by inhibiting pancreatic lipase enzyme. The long-term effect of orlistat administration are oily stool, oil spotting, and flatulence, among others. So the potential of natural products for the treatment of obesity may be an excellent alternative strategy for the development of safe and effective anti-obesity drugs. Okay, this is my my slide, the last slide, and the next slide, Mr. Abdul Aziz, please. You can explain your material.
Okay, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, Dr. Apotheker Nita Rusdiana, Mr. Said. I appreciate the introduction. It's great to be speaking with all of you today. I'll try to continue Dr. Apotheker Arwiniarto, Major Science presentation about obesity in terms of herbal medicine. Okay, obesity is a condition that shows an imbalance between height and weight due to fat tissue in the body, resulting in excess body weight that exceeds the ideal size. The problem of obesity is closely related to an increase in the number of deaths from heart and blood vessel disease, diabetes, and some cancers. The number of obese deaths accompanied by a number of these diseases is more than normal weight sufferers. One effort to overcome obesity is using herbal medicine. We know Indonesia biodiversity. We know Indonesia has around 33,000 species that have the potential to become a medicinal ingredient in Indonesia. But use is still a challenge. Only about 100 species have become herbal ingredient. Around 30 species have become standardized herbal medicine, and only about 12 to 14 species have become phytopharmaca. This is Laksana 3 Handokorimek in the drug discovery. Please next, Mr. Ali. Please next the slide. Okay, thank you. The many advantages of herbal medicine. Herbal medicine had a checkered history ever since, in and out of favor with the great and the common man, but throughout the last 5,000 or so years, it has continued to develop until today, when in the light of growing concern about the efficacy and side effect of many synthetic drugs. Herbal medicine are once again providing a safe and natural alternative treatment for many everyday complaints. Among the least advantages of herbal medicine and natural alternative are as follow: cost and effectiveness potency. Cost herbal have cost less than prescription drug. They are certainly much more convenient. Without a prescription, you can go to the drugstore and buy whatever you want. However, it is always wise to consult with your doctor first before taking any medicine. Natural doesn't necessarily mean safe for you. Many natural substances can be harmful. However, it is also important to know that medicine are not categorized as drug. Alternative medicine are treated as food, not medicine, because they are considered natural. They can be sold as dietary supplement without a prescription. Supplement claims are not subject to the same scientific scrutiny as prescription medication. Unlike prescription medicine, herbal product doesn't have to be tested to prove that they work well and are safe before they are sold. In addition, herbal product may not be pure. They might have other thing in them, like plant pollen or contaminant that could make you sick. Testing and standardized manufacturer of herbal and other supplement is needed. Second, effectiveness and potency. Reason for seeking alternative treatment include dissatisfaction with traditional healthcare. Although the efficacy of herbal medicine is mostly subjective to the patient. Yeah, potency may vary depending on the genetic variation of different strain of herb, growing condition, timing, and method of harvesting, exposure to air, light, and moisture over time, and type of preservation. Yeah. Please, next slide. Evidence-based medicine. We know classification of herbal medicine based on clinical trial data determine the level of evidence grade by natural standard or Harvard Medical School, which concentrate evidence-based information regarding safety, hazard, interaction, and doses. In this formulary of several drugs and herbs are divided into 5 or 6 level of proof. Yeah. Grade A, strong scientific evidence. Evidence of a significant benefit of more than 2 eligible RCT randomized control trial or evidence from 1 RCT that eligible and 1 eligible meta-analysis provision. Grade B, good scientific evidence. Evidence of a statistical significant benefit of 1 until 2 clinical trials conducted at random, or evidence benefit from more than 1 eligible meta-analysis, or evidence of benefit from more than 1 cohort or case control or clinical trial. Grade C, unclear or conflicting scientific evidence. Evidence of benefit from more than 1 small RCT without count sample power level of significance or design quality adequate or disputes evidence from many RCT without the majority of eligible clinical trial. Grade D, fair negative scientific evidence. Grade A, strong negative scientific evidence. And the last, lack of evidence, unable to evaluate efficacy due to unavailability of adequate human data. Next. Okay, herbs component of jamu founded as an obesity treatment in Society has compared of Pohai. Pohai is a formulary of original Indonesia herbal medicine. Herbal medicine for obesity treatment based on Pohai, only 2. The first, Guazama ulmifolia lam or Jati Belanda, Muraya paniculata or Kemuning. The next, okay. Jati Belanda, Guazama ulmifolia lam is common tropical plant that its leaf extract has long been used traditionally to treat some tropical disease and also to reduce body weight as slimming help in some of tropical countries. Guazuma contain flavonoids, saponin, and tannin. Lethal doses 50, oral dose of 6,000 and 324.14 milligram per kilogram in rats. Posology, 3 times 1 tea bag, 5 gram powder per day in 1 cup of water. Pohai formularium of origin Indonesian herbal medicine. The second, Muraya paniculata or Kemuning. Muraya paniculata, commonly known as orange jasmine, China box, or mock orange, is a species of shrub or small tree in the family Rutaceae and is native to South Asia, Southeast Asia, and Australia. Muraya paniculata contained flavonoid and tannin. Lethal dose is 50, oral dose of 15 gram per kilogram in rats posology, 3 times 1 sachet, 15 gram powder per day brewed in 2 cups of water by Fohai formulary of original Indonesia herbal medicine. We know we know tannin compound and flavonoid or saponin and alkaloid are believed to be compounds that are thought to have an anti-obesity role by inhibiting the activity of lipase enzyme that hydrolyze fat into monoglyceride and fatty acid. And then how to use jamu for obesity. Effect of obesity jamu by Danang Ardianto, Agus Triono, Fajar Novianto, and Tovan Arismana. This study used an open label randomized clinical trial with 242 subjects for 56 days. The herbal ingredient consists of 4 kind simplicia, namely jati Belanda, kemuning leaf, kelembab, and tempuyung. A total of 4 glasses, 800 cc of boiling water is used to boil the herbal ingredient for 15 minutes, then cool and filter. The filtering results are taken 2 times a day, every morning and evening. Okay, next. This is selected of herbal therapy. Sequoia, blueberry, soybean, coffee, green tea, lotus leaf, ginger, black wattle, chili pepper, coptis roots, turmeric, white mulberry from natural dietary and herbal product in anti-obesity treatment, Nongsan, Sung Yen Wu, and Si Fai Zhou. Next slide. The first Sequoia or Citrus depressa. Citrus depressa is grown in Okinawa and Taiwan. Sequoia is grown in Okinawa. This flat lemon is a flowering tree with an average height of 3 until 5 meters. Bioactive ingredient flavonoid, experimental detail 1 until 1.5% methanolic extract. The major activity 10% reduction in body weight, 50.9% reduction in organ VAT or white adipose tissue weight. The second is blueberry and mulberry. Bioactive ingredient anthocyanins, experimental detail, mixed juice, major activity 7.30% until 9.81% reduction in body weight, reduction in WAT, adipocyte size, and then soybean. The next slide, soybean, glycine max, bioactive ingredient, protein isolated, experimental detail, 30% protein isolate, male spreadoglycerate fat with high fat for fat 25% for 180 days. Bioactivity 18.9% reduction in body weight gain, 26.6% reduction in body fat, higher thermogenin expression. Next. Coffee Arabica. We know the coffee Arabica, also known as the Arabica coffee, is a species of flowering plant in the coffee and made familiar BSA. It is believed to be the first species of coffee to have been cultivated and is currently the dominant cultivar, representing about 60% of global production. The active ingredient, cafe oil, quinic acid, experimental detail of 0.05% to 1% aqueous extract, major activity 14.3% reduction in body weight, 16.2% reduction in organ WAT or white adipose tissue weight. This decrease is liver in liver fat. The next, green tea. Green tea is a type of tea that is made from Camellia sinensis leaves and buds that have not undergone the same watering and oxidation process used to make oolong tea and black tea. Green tea origin in China, and since then its production and manufacture has spread to other countries in Asia. The active ingredient, polysaccharides, caffeine, and catechin. We know catechin in Indonesia is better than in other countries. So green tea for slim, and then for the product of green tea in Indonesia is very good. Experimental detail for 100 until 400 to 800 milligram per kilogram aqueous extract, major activity 11.3% until 60.9% reduction in body weight, reduction in body fat index, and a white adipose tissue, adipocyte size. Okay, next. Lotus leaf with taurine. Lotus is a water plant belonging to the family Nelumbonaceae. Okay, bioactive ingredient, alkaloid, flavonoid, triterpenoid, polyphenol, steroid, glycoside, and taurine. Experimental detail, 400 milligram per kilogram aqueous extract with taurine, male spreadogly rats fed with HFT. Major activity, reduction in body weight, reduction in WAT, adipose size and number. Ginger. Ginger is a flowering plant whose rhizome, ginger root, or ginger is widely used as spice and folk medicine. We know ginger is very good for COVID-19 in Indonesia. Bioactive ingredient, gingerol, paradol, and sagol. Experimental detail, 5% ginger powder, male albino rats fed with HPD. Major activity, 38.6% reduction in body weight, 45.7% reduction in pancreatic lipase active. Black wattle, acacia. Acacia, commonly known as black wattle, lead black wattle, or green wattle. Bioactive ingredient, robinettinidol and physitinidol. Experiment 5% aqueous extract. Major activity, 23.2% reduction in body weight, higher expression of energy expenditure related change. Next, chili pepper. Bioactivity ingredient, capsaicin. Experimental detail, 10 milligram per kilogram, male spreadogly rat with HPD. Major activity, 8% reduction in body weight and reduction in WAT weight, and adipocyte size. Next, Coptic root, bioactivity, berberine, experimental detail, 200 milligram per kilogram ethanol extract. Major activities, reduction in body weight, reduction in organ WAT weight. And then turmeric curcuma longa, curcumin, bioactivity ingredient, experimental detail 50% ethanol extract, male spreadougly feed with HPD. Major activity 15.9% reduction in body weight gain, 31.3% reduction in organ WAT weight. And then the last, Morus alba, white mulberry. Morus alba known as white mulberry, common mulberry, and warm mulberry is a fast-growing, small to medium-sized mulberry tree, which grow to 10 until 20 meter tall. Bioactive ingredient, rutin, resveratrol, anthocyanin, and 1-deoxynitromycin. Experiment detail combination of leaf extract and fruit extract. This is male C57BL or 6 mice fit with HPD. Male activity 53.5% reduction in body weight, again reduction in organ WAT weight. The next conclusion, Indonesian biodiversity potentially for the standardized herbal medicine industry. Jati Belanda and kemuning have been used as slimming agent in jamu. The use of some natural anti-obesity product could be considered as a supportive tool to keep obese people holding on their weight loss goal. So with that, we will go ahead and take some time for question. Thank you.
Okay. Is it done, Mr. Abdulaziz?
Okay, it's done.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ari Yuniarto, and also Mr. Abdulaziz Setiawan for your informative and interesting talk. Very well, ladies and gentlemen. Now we come to the question and answer session. I will read the selected question so that the speaker will answer the question. There is one question so far. Is there any question? You can read the question in the chat box. The first question is from Mr. Dito Anurogo from Taipei Medical University. This question is for Mr. Ari. Mr. Ari can prepare your answer. The question is, what do you think the safety and efficacy of omics approaches such as pharmacogenetics, pharmacogenomics, nutrigenomics, nutrigenetics, cells therapy, for example, stem cells, treatment for obesity management? Thank you for your enlightenment.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Nita, and question from Dito Nurogo from Taipei Medical University. Okay, good question. Okay, and about safety and efficacy of omic approach, such as pharmacogenetic, pharmacogenomic, nutrigenic. Okay, this Indonesian herbal medicinal plants should be explored, and in the future prospect, not only in vivo, in vitro, but we need we need use a research to omic approach. So if omic approach has done in Indonesia especially, so I think safety and efficacy of herbal product it's okay, it's no problem. So research using herbal must be explored. We need a research, comprehensive research. So nutrigenetic stem cells, pharmacogenetic shall be done. Shall be done in the future. Okay. So I think safety and efficacy is okay. No problem. Okay. Next for me, Dr. Nita. Maybe from Bapak Aziz, if you complete my answer, please.
Okay. Maybe what do you think about safety and efficacy of omic approach? Yeah, omic approach. I think we must know about the omic approach, pharmacogenetic, pharmacokinetics, nutrigenetic cell therapy for herbal. We must check lethal doses of the herbal such as jati blender, and then research about lethal doses. For efficacy, you must try to research in spider rats, and then you can efficacy. You can find safety and efficacy for the researches and for treatment for obesity management in Indonesia. You must take 4 or more herbal to efficacy, not a single herbal, Like effect of obesity jamu to body mass index, you must research this study use and label randomized clinical trial. The herbal ingredient consists of 4 kinds of ciblicia, namely 10 gram of jati blender, 10 gram of kemuning leaf, 4 gram of kelembak, and 10 gram of tempuyung, a total of 4 glasses. And then you must research about pharmacogenetic, pharmacogenomic, nutrigenomic, etc. For now about safety and lethal doses, effect of obesity jamu, like that.
Well, thank you, Mr. Ari and Mr. Aziz. Is there any question from the audience?
And then I have experience about omics, metabolomics. So if you wanna describing about omic, you can try to metabolomic efficacy, and then substance of herbal. You can find the new substance or the old substance for the herbal with metabolomic. The other of pharmacogenetic, etc. You can try about metabolomic for efficacy and substance, and then safety of substance of the drug of the herbal.
Okay, we remind you all that Mr. Abdul Aziz competencies is metabolomic
approach.
Yes,
with Simca.
Yes, of course. Okay, this is the second question from Yasmin Fadila. She is from University Muhammadiyah Bandung. This question is for Mr. Abdul Aziz. Please, permission to ask, are there any plants or herbal medicines that have side effects such as excreting fat faces like the side effects of the drug orlistat?
Okay, are there any plan of herbal medicine? Okay, if you know the plan of herbal medicine that have side effect, such as excreting, you can combinating of herbal with another herbal such as expressing tempuyung herbal for have a side effect such as excreting fat feces, like the side effect of the drug orlistat.
Okay, they are. So how, Miss Yasmin? Mr. Aziz has answered your question. Okay. So there are plants like which is what is like orlistat side effects. Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay. I have any. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. I have a question for you, Mr. Abdul Aziz Setiawan. May I?
Okay.
Okay. Will the use of combination of Jati Belanda and Kemuning be much more effective than single use?
Okay. This is by Danang Ardianto Agustriono for Simplicia. For kind of Simplicia namanya Jati Belanda, Kemuning, Lembek, Tempuyung, better than what is it? Orlistat, better than Orlistat for expressing fat faces like the side effect of Orlistat. 2 times every day, 2 times a day, every morning and evening for the expression fat faces like Orlistat.
Oh, okay.
So you can try, Mrs. Nita,
Oh,
to reduce your white adiposa tissue.
okay.
Mr. Ari.
Body shaming, right? Okay.
You can
Any
try
question?
in the home
No.
for the herbal ingredient consists of 4 kind of Simplicia, Jati Belanda, Kemuning, Kelembak, and Tempuyung.
So it's much more effective, yeah.
Yeah, much more effective than Orlistat.
Combination. Okay, then Orlistat, then single use also. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any question from another audience?
And then if you take a single herbal, side effect is more than combined for a kind of Simplicia combinated.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Abdul Aziz, for the answer. Is there any question, audience? Okay. If you have any question, you can write down in the chat box, or you can raise your hand. We have 331 participants here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay, Mr. Abdul Aziz say that you can try to take 4 kinds of Simplicia, namely 10 grams of Jati Belanda, 10 grams of kemuning leaves, 4 grams of kelembak root, and 10 grams of tempuyung. Yeah. So a total of 4 glasses, 800 cc of boiling water is used to boil the herbal ingredients for 15 minutes, then cooled and filtered. The filtering results are taken 2 times a day, every morning and evening. So
I think all of you can try to take 4 kind of Simplicia that.
there are tips from Mr. Abdul Aziz. Thank you, Mr. Abdul Aziz, for the tips. Okay. I guess there are no question anymore, and all question has been answered from the speaker, I guess, yeah. So if you want to ask more because you're shy, you can ask the lecturer by the committee, I guess, yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, finally we come to the end of the presentation. The first conclusion from Mr. Ari's presentation: obesity is the excessive or abnormal accumulation of fat or adipose tissue in the body, which is caused the risk of diabetes mellitus, cardiovascular disease, hypertension, and hyperlipidemia. Then the conclusion from Mr. Abdul Aziz Materi, which Jati Belanda and communing has been used as slimming agents in jamu to reduce and treat the obesity. Okay. The next agenda is delivering of certificates to the speaker by our rector, Mr. Apoteker Dr. Andes Jaka Supriyanta.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Mitra.
The time is yours.
Okay, Mr. Adi, this is certificate as a presenter. This presentation summer course. Okay, and then certificate for Mas Aziz. Okay. Aziz, this is a certificate as a presenter.
Thank you,
Okay,
Mr. Joko,
okay.
as our rector.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you
Benita.
very much, our rector, our humble rector.
Thank you.
Give a big applause for Mr. Ari and Mr. Abdul Aziz for their informative talks, and also to audience for your active participations. Okay, hopefully the presentation will be beneficial for everybody. Thank you for your attention and good morning. It's still morning. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will give back the time to Darian as the master of ceremony.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Nita. And all right, to all participants, the next agenda will guide by Madya University of Bandung. To Mrs. Rizka, time is yours. And from the depths of my heart, I do apologize for my
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much to Miss Darian. Before continuing the event, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Rizka Maulidina as the Master of Ceremony, University of Muhammadiyah Bandung Online Version. For the first, we would like to play a profile video of University of Muhammadiyah Bandung. Enjoy watching. For the first, we would like to play a profile video of University of Muhammadiyah Bandung. Enjoy watching.
building with 14 floors. It consists of 4 faculties and 18. I'm here to bring my dream, stepping towards my future. Bandung is a city with various universities. One of them is Muhammadiyah Bandung University. Sampurasun, let's get to know Muhammadiyah University of Bandung. Muhammadiyah University of Bandung is located on Jalan Soekarno-Hatta number 752, Bandung City, West Java. Pharmacy program in Muhammadiyah Bandung University is one of the best universities in West Java with good accreditation. The vision of the university is to become an Islamic technopreneurial university and has a mission. First, organizing education and learning with the involvement of innovation and entrepreneurial spirit and knowledge. Second, conducting research that contributes to the development of science, technology, and the arts, as well as improving innovation. Third, organizing community surveys in the context of education and learning based on research results. Fourth, organizing, coaching, and internalizing and strengthening the values of Al-Islam Kemuhammadiyahan. And the fifth, organizing university management and organization with the principles of good university regulation to enhance the capacity and quality in a sustainable manner. Muhammadiyah Bandung University is the only university in Bandung which has a building with 14 floors. It consists of 4 faculties and 18 excellent study programs. Those are Electrical Engineering, Informatics Engineering, Industrial Engineering, Food Technology, Biotechnology, Pharmacy, Agribusiness, Communication, Psychology, Public Administration, Textile and Fashion Crafts, Accounting, Management, Islamic Religious Education, Early Childhood Education, Sharia Economics, Islamic Broadcasting Communication, and Islamic Family Law. Students at the Muhammadiyah University of Bandung always apply the 3S, namely Senyum, Sapa, and Salam, or Smile, Read, and Salam. Besides that, Muhammadiyah University of Bandung also has various kinds of student clubs, including the Tapak Suci, Futsal, Volleyball, Badminton, Artside, Bewara, Protocol Corps, Hizbul Waton, and so on. On 14th floor of the university, we can see a very beautiful view of the city of Bandung.
Sorry for the problems when showing the video earlier. The next session is the presentation of the second topic. This session will be led by moderator Ms. Apotheker Maulidwina Betasari, MS Farm. I will read her curriculum vitae. Ms. Maulidwina is a lecturer at the University of Muhammadiyah Bandung. She is a registered pharmacist with a solid research background. She has interest in developing protein for diagnostic and therapeutic purpose, or for the pharmaceutical industry. She would like to expand the knowledge in the protein engineering in order to develop a protein with better activity and which are easier to be produced on a large scale. Ms. Maulidwina was taken Bachelor of Pharmaceutical Science and Technology by the Institute of Technology on 2017, and she was taken Master of Pharmaceutical Biotechnology at Bandung Institute of Technology Fast Track Program on 2018. From 2013 to present, she got so many achievements on her CV. Please welcome Miss Apotheker Maulidwina Betasari, MS Pharm. The time is yours.
Thank you very much, Rizka. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to the second presentation. So I would like to thank all participants for your excitement in joining this program. Well, in this session, we will discuss about future prospect of Indonesian medicinal plants for cancer and hematology treatment. So this session will be presented by two presenters, which are Miss Ardila Kamaladewi and Miss Dwinta Lestari consecutively. So before we hear the presentations, let's take a look at our presenters' profile. The first presenters will be Miss Dila. Currently, Miss Ardila is a lecturer in Universitas Muhammadiyah Bandung, who are in charge as one of the instructor for the Division of Pharmacology. And in the previous work, she was a clinical pharmacist at several hospitals, including Santosa Hospital Bandung. And previously, she attended the bachelor study and professional pharmacy study at Universitas Andalas Padang, and she continued her master study at Institute Technology Bandung. And then the second part of the presentation will be brought by Ms. Dwinta Lestari. Ms. Dwinta Lestari is also a lecturer in Universitas Muhammadiyah Bandung, who's in charge as one of the instructor for the Division of Pharmacology. Well, her previous bachelor and professional pharmacy study was taken at Universitas Padjadjaran Bandung, and she continued her study, master and doctoral study at Institute Technology Bandung. Several research has been conducted by her, including mechanism study of Madeira vein leaves extract as anti-hyperlipidemic and in silico study of its active compound to MHG-CoA reductase. And her recent publication is in silico study of apigenin and apigenin as inhibitor of MHG-CoA reductase in Asian Journal of Pharmaceutical and Clinical Research. So before we continue, let's say hi to our presenters. So our Miss Dila and Miss Dwinta have attended this meeting.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Miss Dwinta and Miss Dila.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. So it's a pleasure to have you two here with us today in this virtual room. So the overall presentation rundown will be similar to the first presentations, which consist of the presentation by Ms. Dila and followed by the presentation from Ms. Dwinta. And after the presentation, there will be a discussion session. So if the participant here have a questions, you may write it in the comments section and we will discuss it later. So, without further ado, without further ado, for the first presenter, please welcome Ms. Ardila.
Okay, thank you for moderator. Does my voice sound clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, thank you for the opportunity. Well, sorry for my voice because I'm not in a good condition today, but I'm very proud and excited to be able to join this series of summer school event. And the honorable leaders and committees who have facilitated this event, which I'm proud of all participants. Thank you, moderator. Greetings to all of you. Well, we start with Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We have heard of such great material before. And then our topic for this session is about blood and cancer. So we took the topic of hematology and oncology disorder or blood cancer. So our topic about future prospect of Indonesian medicinal plans for cancer and hematologic treatment. Before going into the discussion related to phytotherapy, I will explain what hematology, oncology, and pharmacotherapy are first. So next. Okay, this is our topic. We will discuss about hematologic oncology first, and then there are three main types of blood cancers, and then we will talk about treatment options. Yeah, if you look at the current, COVID-19 pandemic, we know that there are very many cases of death due to COVID-19, but in fact, the case of death from cancer is also not less. If you look at the profile of cancer deaths in this diagram from Cancer Registry 2018 data, many cases of death occur from cancer cases. And next, if we take a closer look at our country, Indonesia, from the Dermais NCC 2018 data, we can find that blood cancer is one of the top 10 cancers that occur in Indonesia. So what cancer is? Yeah. Cancer, based on World Health Organization definition, cancer is a large group of disease that can start in almost any organ or tissue of the body when abnormal cells grow uncontrollably. So the cancer cells can grow uncontrollable, go beyond their usual boundaries to infect adjoining parts of the body and spread to the other organs, or we call it can metastatic. So from this definition, we can know that the characteristic of cancer cells first is it can grow and develop fast, and then it can multiply themselves rapidly and continuously or proliferation, and it can metastatic. Metastatic means that these cancer cells can go to the other organs from the first organ they started, and then have innate heredity. So from the picture, we can have the comparison normal cells and then with the cancer cells. The cancer cells, it have many cells that continue to grow and divide. And then it has variation in size and shapes of cells. And from nucleus, that is larger and darker than normal. And then it has abnormal number of chromosomes, and then a cluster of cells without a boundary. So it's the characteristic of cancer cells. Okay, next. So if you are wondering, what is the cause of this cancer? Because there are so many people ask what exactly the cause of the cancer. Actually, we cannot be sure that this cancer is definitely the cause is one factor or exactly this factor caused the cancer. No, because the cause of the cancer is multifactorial. For example, someone says the cause is genetic. It turns out that there are cases of patients after tracing their family history did not have a history of cancer. So the cause is multifactorial, like genetics and then environmental exposure, radiation, unhealthy lifestyle, and others. So normal cells have the initiation first, maybe from chemicals, radiation, virus, and the other factor that I mentioned before, and then continue to promotion, and then progression, change into the cancer cells, and the characteristic of this cancer cells can metastatics. And if we look to the pathophysiology, there is a rule of angiogenesis too. The process, the angiogenesis is the process of forming new blood vessels from existing blood vessels. Actually, this is a natural physiological process that can occur when the body is healthy or sick. But apparently, when tissue grows from abnormal cells, such as tumor or cancers in the body, angiogenesis also occurs. So the newly formed blood vessels serve to feed the cancer's tissue and keep it alive. After that, cancer tissue will also take advantage of these new blood vessels as a path or pathway for cancer cells to spread to the other tissue, or we called before metastatic. So that's why from this pathophysiology, there are drugs whose mechanism of action is anti-angiogenesis, such as bevacizumab. For the phytotherapy, we'll see the material that will be given by Mrs. Drinta. So next. So what is hematologic oncology? Hematologic oncology combines two fields of medicine: hematology, which is the study of the blood, and oncology, the study of cancer. So cancer is the term used in which abnormal cells divide without control and are able to infect other tissues. Cancer cells can spread to other parts of the body through the blood and lymph system. Actually, there are more than 100 types of cancer. It's named after the organ or cell type in which they begin. For example, why there is a colon cancer name? Because it starts in the large intestine first. So that's the origin of the name of the cancer. Well, next. So what is blood cancer? So blood cancers affect the production and function of your blood cells. Of course, the name is blood cancer, so it will affect our blood. Most of this cancer starts in your bone marrow, where blood is produced. Stem cells in your bone marrow mature and develop into three types of blood cells. First, red blood cells, and then white blood cells or platelets. And in most blood cancers, the normal blood cell development process is interrupted by uncontrolled growth of an abnormal type of blood cell. So these abnormal blood cells or cancerous cells prevent your blood from performing many of its functions, like fighting off infection or preventing serious bleeding. So we can see the symptoms of the patient cancer, blood cancer, especially is like easy to sick and that easy to get infection, and then bruising because of the platelet factor is decreased, and etc. Next. Well, we can look this picture. Bone marrow contains stem cells, right? Actually, all blood cells start as blood stem cells. And a blood stem cells has to mature or go through many stages to become red blood cells, white blood cell, or platelets. So from this picture, we can know that blood stem cells divide into myeloid and lymphoid progenitor cells. And from this section, from myeloid, it can divide into myeloblasts and then red blood cells, platelet, granulocytes. And then from lymphoid, it can change into lymphoblasts and then lymphocytes. So this is the best that we need to know first before we know about what is the cancer or blood cancer is, the type, and then why we can see the symptoms that we can see from the blood cancer patients. Okay, next. Well, if we talk about the function of the blood components, I think you all already know what the function of each one is. Plasma, the function is transport blood cells. And then platelets, it's help the blood clotting process. And then red blood cells, it help carry oxygen because it contain hemoglobin. And then white blood cells, it protect the body from infections. Then from the principle of our blood function, we know if there is an abnormality, what happens are the symptoms that occur from the blood cancer patients. Okay, next. Well, this is there are three main types of blood cancers. First, leukemia, and then there are lymphoma, and then myeloma. Leukemia, a type of cancer found in blood and bone marrow, is caused by the rapid production of abnormal white blood cells. So the high number of abnormal white blood cells are not able to fight infection, and it can impair the ability of the bone marrow to produce red blood cells and platelets. And how about the lymphoma? Lymphoma affects the lymphatic systems. This is, can remove excess fluids from the body and produce human cells. So, in this type of cancer, the abnormal lymphocytes become lymphoma cells, which multiply and collect in lymph nodes and other tissue. So these cancer cells impair immune system. And then from myeloma, this is cancer of the plasma cells. Plasma cells are white blood cells that produce disease and infection, fighting antibodies in body and play a key role in bone repair. So we can tackle that this patient have a bone, the symptoms, one of them is like bone disorder or kidney. Okay, next. Yeah, we can look at this stage for lymphoma. The stages of the cancer are divided on the basis of metastasis. There are different scales to determine different stages according to the symptoms and rate of metastasis. So mainly the stages of the cancer have been divided into 4 parts. Stage 1, the blood cancer in this stage includes the enlargement of the lymph nodes. This happens because of the sudden increase of the number of the lymphocytes. And the risk at this stage is very low as the cancer is not yet spread or affected any other physical organ. And then stage 2, spleen, liver, and lymph nodes get enlarged. It is not necessary that all these organs get affected at the same time. However, this stage includes one of these organs for sure. And then for the stage 3, anemia develops in this stage, and above mentioned organs are still found enlarged. It is sure that more than 2 organs get affected in this stage. And then for the last stage or stage 4, this is the blood cancer in this stage is the last stage with the highest risk ratio. So the rate of blood platelets starts falling rapidly. The cancerous cells start affecting the lungs, including the other organs, or we can call it happens metastatic. Anemia in this stage is more likely to be acute. Okay. If we compare with the 3 types of the blood cancer, for the first is leukemia. We know that leukemia is a malignancy that occurs in the blood, making fractures in the bone marrow. And there are 3 normal blood cells that function in the human body, like red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Malignancy that occurs in the bone marrow causes the 3 normal blood cells to suppress and cause extraordinary symptoms. There are billions and even trillions of blood cells involved in the circulation but the factory is in the bone marrow. So stem cells are the parent of blood cells in the human body. Stem cells should turn into leukocyte or normal white blood cells, but stem cells divide themselves and normal white blood cells do not form. So stem cells that do not turn into white blood cells leave the circulation and crowd out normal blood cells. Stem cells cannot fight bacteria like normal white blood cells. So patients with leukemia are prone to infections. If the platelets drop, it will cause bleeding. And then lymphoma, there are lumps in the lymph nodes such as the neck and then armpit and groin. And active myeloma causes symptoms by taking over bone marrow. So this can result in high blood calcium, and then it can cause kidney damage, anemia, and weakened or destroyed bones. Okay, we can see that this is symptoms of blood cancers. Fever is common symptoms. I think that there are red spot in skin and then nose bleeding easily, and then bone or joint pain, weight loss, and like sweating and infection and swollen lymph node. Okay, so what the therapy of the blood cancer? Actually, this is the type of cancer therapy generally. We can see there are surgery, radiation therapy, chemotherapy, hormone therapy, targeted therapy, and stem cell transplant. But we must understand that this cancer is in the form, there is a liquid cancer, and then there are a solid cancer. So for blood cancer, it is a liquid cancer. So the therapy must be in the blood. Therefore, the main treatment option for a blood cancer is chemotherapy. As with any cancer, blood cancer treatments need to be tailored to each patient. The treatment plan will depend on the specific type of blood cancer, its stage, and other factors pertaining to the patient overall health. There are stem cell transplants, chemotherapy, and radiation therapy are all common treatment for blood cancers. Okay, next. So what the principles of treatment in cancer? If we can look the mechanism of chemotherapy, it is a cytostatic therapy. So cytostatic substance, it specifically affects cells that multiply or divide. So tissues that have a high mitotic rate are physiologically bound to be affected by cytostatic therapy. Or it explains why the side effect the patient get the chemotherapy is like hair loss and then easily infected, or nausea, anorexia, gastrointestinal ulceration, because this type of cells, it have some characteristic with the cancer cells. It is have multiply cells that multiplies or divide or mitosis. So we can see the side effects of patients that get the chemotherapy like hair loss because hair follicle cells, and then easily infected because bone marrow, and then nausea, anorexia, gastrointestinal ulceration because cells in the GI tract. Okay, next. So this is integrated model including both curative and palliative care for chronic progressive illness. So if we can look this picture, there are several types of the therapy that can we give to the patient cancer, like curative care, palliative care. So what is curative and palliative care difference? We take the example like surgery. Surgery is a curative if it's in the early stage we give. But if the cancer has metastatic, then it can't be operated on. So palliative chemotherapy is a treatment designed for people with terminal cancer. So the goals of treatment with palliative chemotherapy are to prolong survival and relieve symptoms. So that's the difference of the curative care and palliative care. And for the cancer patients, we can see that they can give the curative care or palliative care, or curative care combined with the palliative care. And next. So this is goals of cancer treatment. We can see there are neoadjuvant therapy, and then we can see the adjuvant and palliative. Neoadjuvant, the therapy that given before surgery. Or we said it is curative. The goals for reducing the size of solid tumors. So this is special for solid tumors. And then for adjuvant is given after surgery. This is for the eradication of micrometastasis or undetected cancer cells. And then for palliative, it's reduce the size of the cancer. Okay, this is for increase the survival of the patient cancer. Okay, next. So this is the choice, the options for blood cancer. We can see there are chemotherapy. Chemotherapy drugs, it will kill fast-growing cells, including blood cancer cells and normal cells. So we can see the side effects from the chemotherapy. And then there are radiation therapy. This treatment that use high energy rays or radiation to destroy cancer cells. And then we can see there is targeted therapy. It's the targeted therapy drugs are aimed at specific or unique features of cancer cells. And then immunotherapy uses your body natural defense against infections and disease to destroy cancer cells. And then there is stem cell transplants. It replaces damaged or diseased cells in the bone marrow with healthy blood stem cells. It also involves high-dose chemotherapy to wipe out any remaining myeloma cells in the body. And then there is a blood transfusion for the other symptoms or symptomatic therapy. And then there are palliative care and combination of any above. So this treatment for blood cancer, we can say it's personalized therapy because we need depends on specific diagnosis, and then we need to consider about the age, and then cytogenetic analysis like an examination of the chromosomes in the bone marrow, blood, and lymph node cells, and then overall health and other factors. So each individual or each patient of blood cancer, especially, we can see that there are several or different treatment options. But the point is the blood cancer need chemotherapy for the primary therapy. Well, next. So what about blood cancer phytotherapy? It will explain with Mrs. Dinta Lestari. I think it's my explanation for blood cancer definition, pathophysiology, and then the pharmacotherapy. So we can see what about the phytotherapy for blood cancer. So I think it's done for my session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Ardila. It is a very elaborative presentation about cancers and especially hematology and oncology. And for the next part of the presentations will be brought by Ms. Dwinta. Please welcome Ms. Dwinta.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Maudi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, before we now we are discuss phytotherapy first, yeah. Okay, I remember the first speaker from Huamka, professor from Huamka, tell about phytotherapy. So, who is remember what is phytotherapy? For the 300 here, any answer my question? What is phytotherapy? Okay, Balkis. Hello. Balkis. Okay. I'm sorry, Miss Maudi.
Yes.
My first.
Oh, I'm
turn.
sorry. It is, I guess, I accidentally pressed a button here. I'm sorry. Pardon.
Yep.
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 Yes. Yeah. You may continue.
Okay. Next. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Next. Phytotherapy. So, who answer my question? What is phytotherapy? From the first day, professor from Uhamka said phytotherapy. And you remember that? Okay. Phytotherapy is the practice of using medicine derived from plants or herbs to treat or prevent. Yeah. So phytotherapy only treat or prevent. Okay, not killer. So many research on medical plants, but have not researched a cure for cancer because it requires a lot of money to develop it and a lot of equipment. So I hope all of us in this Zoom, we can collaboration to get a phytotherapy for cancer, to make a phytotherapy from cancer. Okay, next. Okay, this is a major biological properties of herbal attribute to potential anti-liquidemic effect. Yeah, so this here ada hibiscus cannabis, so ginseng root, and then Epoberia formania, and then Allium sativum, and then Moringa oleifera, and then Archila vigorostama. And then the activity for cancer, it's antioxidant. Yeah. So effect of cancer, it's antioxidant. Next. Okay, herbal therapy in Indonesia. We have kunyit putih. This is kunyit putih, curcuma zedoaria. It's have a curcumin. And then tapak darah, Cataratus roseus. This is alkaloid saponin. It's tapak darah. The same effect from with the same effect with vinblastine and vinclistine. Vinblastine and vinclistine. Okay, I'm sorry. And then sambiloto, and the sambiloto andrograpolids. Andrograpolid have a lot of antioxidant, and then he makes to prevent and treat the cancer. And then siling merah, alkaloid, flavonoid, saponin, tannin, carvacol, and eugenol. So only treat and or prevent for phytopharmaca, not make cell cancer go, not kill the cancer, but not make people cancer healthy, but only for quality of life insecure. It increase, yeah. Leukemia cannot be cured, but must improve the mindset. So leukemia need mindset, lifestyle in order to increase the spirit of life, so that it increase and slows down gain mutation, so that it can improve the quality of life. Okay, antioxidant. First, I'm so sorry. Before this slide, yeah, Antioxidants are substances that can prevent or slow damage to cell caused by free radical unstable molecule that the body produce as a reaction to environmental and other pressure. Antioxidant can protect against the cell damage that free radical cause now as oxidative stress. Excess free radical contribute to chronic disease, including cancer, heart disease, cognitive decline, and vision loss. This doesn't automatically mean that substance with antioxidant properties will fix the problem, especially if they are taken out of their natural context. The studies so far are inconclusive, but generally don't provide strong evidence that antioxidant supplements have a substantial impact on disease. Next, Ms. Okay. Many research about antioxidant. I am only take three overall. Antioxidant acts as a second line of defense against the generation of free radical in our body. They can act as a spin trapping molecule that can donate electron to free radical, which further trap to the molecule wandering in our cell to cause damage to the biomolecular. Evidence suggests the paradoxical effect on antioxidant against free radical mediate damage to the cell. This is from Mahmoud et al. And then antioxidant in food, this the block lipid peroxidation, keep freshness, prolong shelf life. Only quality of life. Okay, in biomedical fields, serve as antioxidants, serve as pro-oxidation, produce ROS, activation of NRF2 cellular, and then produce oxidative stress and toxicity. This is from Chung S. And et al. And then from A.G. Dogan comment. Food enriched antioxidant, many fruit and vegetable, then and then prevent physiological effect of antioxidant is prevention of oxidative stress, then damage, and then certain cancer, and then cardiovascular disease, diabetes, aging, stroke, hypertension, oxidative environment colon, and then antioxidant capacity, the TRAP, LDL, oxidative, the PPH, the MPA, VCR, and so on. So this is can antioxidant can make prevent the cancer. Next. Okay. Next, I will take the angiogenesis. Angiogenesis is a drug or substance that keep new blood vessel from forming. In cancer treatment, anti-angiogenesis agents may prevent the growth of new blood vessel that tumor need to grow. Angiogenesis is essential for tumor development and dissemination, the investigation into the inhibition of tumor angiogenesis as a shed new light on cancer treatment. Angiogenesis is how the body from new blood vessels. This is a normal part of growth and healing, but sometimes angiogenesis can play a role in disease such as cancer. To grow, a tumor needs nutrient and oxygen from your blood. The tumor sends signal that stimulates more blood vessels to grow and carry more blood. Angiogenesis inhibitor, also called anti-angiogenic, anti-angiogenic, block blood vessel growth by blocking nutrient and oxygen from a tumor. The angiogenesis inhibitor starve the tumor. Next. And then so many research from to angiogenesis. Angiogenesis is the process of formation of new blood vessel from pre-existing vessel. It is a highly regulated process that involves migration, growth, and differentiation of endothelial cell. And then this regulate mechanism is crucial in reproduction. Nonetheless, all the alterations in any of its regulatory pathway may lead to metabolic disease, cardiovascular disorder, diabetic, retinopathy, psoriasis, systematic lupus, and so on. And then angiogenesis from human plasma. Then human, and then ada endostens human, and then interferon alpha human, PI 2 human recombinant. And then placenta growth factor human, fibroblast growth factor, basic human recombinant, epidermal growth factor human, and then angiogenin human, vascular endothelial growth factor human, and then hepatocyte growth factor. And then from the research of Class and Linders William, we can see the pre-treatment. And then in the, after give anti-angiogenesis, the cell disease normalization cell, and then this is FGF loop. Next. Nah, the role of plant antioxidant on cancer: metabolic secondary from curcumin, quercetin, and then sambiloto have a quercetin, andrograpolid quercetin, and then kunyit putih curcumin. So next, curcumin, a polyphenolic compound extract from the rhizome of the tropical plant curcuma, has been considered as a cancer semi-preventive drugs by American National Cancer Institute. And then curcumin potential help to prevent the new cancer that are caused by chemotherapy or radiation. More recently, curcumin has been found to possess anti-cancer activity via its effect on a variety of biological pathway involved in mutagenesis on corn experience, cell cycle regulation, apoptosis, tumor egenesis, and metastasis. And then several studies in vitro using different cell lines have shown that quercetin inhibit lipopolysaccharide induce tumor necrosis factor production in macrophages, and LPS induce IL-8 production in lung A549 cells. Next. Then quercetin, a plant pigment, is a potent antioxidant flavonoid, and more especially flavanol found mostly in onion, grapes, berries, cherries, broccoli, and citrus fruit. It is a versatile antioxidant known to possess a protective ability against tissue injury induced by various drug toxicity. Quercetin induce P53 activation resulting in upregulation of back and downregulation of BCL2 in tumor cells. This led to caspase activation and ultimate apoptosis cell death. Quercetin has been known to cause change in apoptosis in mesangial cell by inhibiting the activation of GNK and other ARK pathway. And then next, okay. No one wants to get cancer, let alone blood cancer. So keep a healthy lifestyle as early as possible so that we stay healthy. Thank you, Miss Modi.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Dwinta and Ms. Ardila. Well, it is a very interesting subjects you brought here. So after the presentation, we will enter to the discussion session. There are several questions from the participants here. As we can see, the first question is from Ms. Ratnasari Dewi. Assalamualaikum, pardon me, I have questions for cancer from the research. Is it herbal can kill cancer? How about the stadium? When we make herbal, probably the stadium 1, the second stadium, or the 4th stadium? Thank you for the answer. So it's probably asking about whether the phytotherapy can kill cancer, and probably it's at which stadium the herbal or the phytotherapy can kill the cancer. Is it the first stage, or the second stage, or the 3rd, or the 4th? Please welcome.
Okay, thank you, Miss Modi. Stadium of cancer, Miss Ardila explained that. And then herbal not for kill cancer. Many research we have to get them. But from stadium 1, we can use a herbal to make quality of life increase. Thank you, Ms. Maudi.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer, Ms. Dwinta. Probably Ms. Dila want to add some more.
Okay, thank you for Mrs. Dwinta. And yeah, we can use phytotherapy that has been clinically tested, right? But in cases of the emergency or advanced stages, we still use conventional drugs that have been clinically tested, like Mrs. Dwinta's study said before. So we need to be careful for treat this patient, especially the blood cancer patient and our topics today. So we can use as the chemopreventive therapy. Maybe that's my addition.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer. So it can be concluded that the phytotherapy cannot kill cancer, and for most of the therapy used are the conventional medicines. Okay, for either it is 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, or 4th stadium of cancer. So is it clear enough for Ms. Ratnasari Dewi?
Yeah, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you very much for your answer.
Thank you very much again for the question. So the next question, yes. So the next question is from Ms. Audita Eka. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Excuse me, I want to ask. I'm Audi from Universitas Muhammadiyah Purwokerto, and the question is how we can know types of cancer cells, solid or non-solid. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. You may answer, Kendra.
Okay, thank you for the questions. Like I explained in my presentation, I mentioned about liquid cancer and solid cancer. What the difference of both of them? Solid meaning solid. I mean, if we see the form of blood is liquid, so we say that it is a liquid cancer. So then outside the blood cancer is solid cancer. Although if we look at the clinical manifestations, there are lumps in the lymph nodes from type of the lymphoma in blood cancers. However, it's mainly in the blood. So the blood cancer, because the form is liquid, we can call it a liquid cancer. Outside of that blood cancer type, we can call it solid. So it will depend on the therapy, because solid cancer is different treatment option with the liquid cancer. So liquid cancer, we need to choose the chemotherapy as the primary therapy. Maybe like that. Mrs. Malupina?
Okay, probably Ms. Winter want to add some answer.
Okay.
Okay.
I think the same with Miss Ardila.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you very much for the answer. So yeah, it can be seen from the physical states of the cancers, or probably the solid tumor, and the other is the non-solid or the liquid, because it's in a blood form. So is it clear enough for Audita Eka Wardani? Okay, probably there's problem for the of the internet. So we can move to the next questions. This question is from Mr. Dito Anurogo at Taipei Medical University of Taiwan. For Ms. Ardila, the first question is, how will be the mechanism of cell therapies to combat blood cancer? And the second question is, how will be the safety and efficacy aspects of CRISPR-Cas9 and optogenetics approaches on blood cancer? Thank you for your enlightenments.
Okay, thank you for the question. Hello, Mr. Dito. It's like my honor, because yeah, we have a guest from the Taipei Medical University, Taiwan. Well, about the question, I think it's about targeted therapy. If we can see the definition of targeted therapy, it's mean the therapy have the target. So this is for cancers that have specific receptors or targets on cancer cells. I will take a sample like for EML, acute myeloid leukemia. We know that there is a CD33, the receptors. CD33 is a myeloid differentiation antigen that is displayed on acute myeloid leukemia bloods in most patients, and possibly leukemic stem cells in some, and has served as target antibody-based therapies for many years. So the targeted therapy is the therapy that has specific receptors to be the targets. So that's for the first questions. And then for the second questions, it's about CRISPR or Cas9.
CRISPR-Cas9, yes.
Okay, CRISPR-Cas9. Actually, I'm not really know much about this, but how far that I know about this therapy that interfere the target DNA against various diseases like cancer. Since cancer is caused by genomic change in tumor cells, CRISPR-Cas9 can be used in the fight of cancer research to edit genomes for explorations of the mechanisms of tumorigenesis and development. And then the research that I have read before about the CRISPR-Cas9, this is for cervical cancer. The disturbing targeted deletion of E6 and E7 gens in human papillomavirus 16 in cervical cancer patients. So the results of this research show that it can significantly decrease in tumor and induce the process of apoptosis of cervical cancer cells. So from this research, this therapy CRISPR-Cas9 can be an effective and affordable therapy for cervical cancer patients to reduce global cervical cancer cases. Maybe that's all. Maybe Mrs. Dwinta can add the answer.
Yeah, please welcome, Ms. Dwinta. Probably you want to add more.
Okay, from Mr. Dito, right?
Yes, it's Mr. Dito's questions.
Okay, I think same with Mrs. Adila.
Okay, thank you very much for the answers. So I guess the mechanism of cell therapies to combat blood cancers mainly is targeting the receptors of the cancer cells. And for CRISPR-Cas9, one of the cases is probably the cervical cancer that can induce the apoptotic activity of the cells, the CRISPR-Cas9. I've heard before the CRISPR-Cas9 therapy can be used for the genetic disease. So probably the delivery can be what is it? The gene, I guess, the plasmid of the CRISPR-Cas9 can be delivered with a vector called adenoviral. So it is very interesting technology. It's a we call it sexy technology here, the CRISPR-Cas9. So is it clear enough for Mr. Rito? Okay, thank you very much for the question, Mr. Rito. And the next question is for Nawal Hilmi from College of Pharmacy Muhammadiyah Cirebon. The question is for Ms. Dwinta. Ms. Tari. As you explained before, as you explained about antioxidants in cancer treatment, what factors should patients pay attention if they've been diagnosed with cancer, and what to use antioxidant supplements? And then, when taking herbs for cancer to control the movement of cancer cells, are there any special symptoms that the patients will feel, while sometimes the patient doesn't feel any symptoms, whether the cells have died or are still growing? Thank you. Please welcome.
Okay, thank you, Miss. Thank you, Miss Maudi. Okay, the factor that must be considered is that is still in stage 1 and or 2, because it helps the metamorphosis of cancer cell. In stage 3 and 4, it must have angiogenesis like vincristine, vinblastine. And then symptoms felt by patients who use phytopharmaca are lighter than conventional drug. Only dizziness, mild nausea, but little, not like conventional drug. I think that Miss Ardila.
Okay, thank you. I think we need to understand that often the symptoms are felt when the patient is in an advanced stage. Rarely the early stage shows symptoms for the cancer cases. So the patient that are really carefully enough to regular checkups, so still have to carry out continuous checks. So because there is no symptoms, it's not means there are no progressions of the cancer's disease. So we need to know that the symptoms, so many cases shows in the advanced stages. So be careful, and please regular checks up. Even the patient choose the antioxidants like phytotherapy for treat their cancer disease. I think that's
okay. Thank you very much for your answers, Ms. Dwinta and Ms. Ardila. Okay, so it can be concluded that the phytotherapy, such as antioxidant, can be used at the first and second stage of the cancer because it doesn't. It has been the vessels of the blood for the tumor hasn't been grown, unlike at the third and the fourth stage. Meanwhile, at the third and fourth stage, we can use the anti-angiogenesis, right? Okay, and then for the symptoms, also although the optional phytotherapy is used, the routine checkup should be done since the symptoms is mostly undetectable, especially for the first, second, and third. Usually, it is detectable at the fourth stage, right? So yeah, if that's related to the symptoms. So probably there's a questions that I perceived here that I guess Nawal want to know that if the cells is there any symptoms that if we use the phytotherapy or maybe conventional that we can know that the therapy is effective enough. So how do we know that the cells died because of the therapy or not? Or is it still growing after we use the phytotherapy or the conventional therapy? It's yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So there are many plants. We have useful for cancer, like tapak darah, like vinblastine and vinblastine, curcumin, but we must have much research from this. So phytotherapy only prevent and treat, but not cure the cancer. I think that.
So yeah, well, again, okay. So related to the phytotherapy, it cannot kill the cells. So probably the cells might not die, right? And it still can growing. So mostly phytotherapy only improve the life quality of the patients.
Lepas pampers-nya.
Okay. So for Nawal Hilmi, is it clear enough for the answers?
Jorok. Tempat sampah, buang.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you for your questions. So, guess, is there any more questions? Probably you want to ask it directly to the forum. You may raise your hand. Okay. We still have time actually. Okay, this is I have a questions that probably might be useful for all the participants here. The question is what we can do to improve the utilizations of phytotherapy to improve cancer patients' life quality in Indonesia.
Okay. Miss Modi, can you repeat the question?
Oh, I'm sorry. So is there anything that there's a step or a program or probably an idea to improve the utilization of phytotherapy to as phytotherapy for the cancer patients in order to increase their life quality?
Okay, I think I will answer from my side. Phytotherapy, I think there are three main advances in herbal medicine or phytotherapy. The first, the use of knowledge of traditional herbal medicine. It can result in the discovery of new drugs that are cheap and faster. And then, of course, we want to get the therapy that have minimal side effects. And then the second, herbal medicine, I think it offers a targeted holistic approach to disease. And then the synergy between the various herbal components, which is an important element of the overall medical effect. However, there are advantage and then there are disadvantage of this phytotherapy, future prospect of the phytotherapy. It's like we need the international standardization to for evaluating composition, efficacy, safety, and quality, consistent manufacturing practice, and then of course about the regulatory and approval process. I think that's a key point because if you can see the what we call that, but you can see the phytotherapy in Indonesia. I think Indonesia have so many natural resources to be a phytotherapy candidate, but yeah, we still have problems in the policy, I think, about the regulation. So I think we need have so many support for the researcher to continue always doing the continuous research to find right phytotherapy that have a good effect, of course, and then have the minimal side effects. Because if we can see the chemotherapy side effects, I think there are so many survivors of the patient cancer that need to struggle with the side effects of the chemotherapy. So I think that I hope that we can find have the good policy to apply the phytotherapy for cancer patients. I think that's all.
Okay, thank you very much for the answers. So it can be conclude that there's still a challenges for the utilizations of the phytotherapy in Indonesia, especially for the cancer patients, since there is probably for the side effects and the policies. Well, that's a really good answers actually. Okay, the time's up for the discussion session. So from the given lecture, it can be concluded that hematologic oncology, which is the study of blood cancer, which is caused by uncontrolled growth of an abnormal type of blood cells that can affect blood function. Well, the current cancer treatments mostly are personalized and aim to prolong life expectancy and increase survivability of the patient. So in this context, well, plants are considered as important resource for the researchers to prove and develop new drugs. Well, since the substance contained in the plant have several activities, including anti-angiogenesis and antioxidant. Well, there are two of the substances among many, which are curcumin that can be used as cancer chemopreventive drug and quercetin that can be used as apoptotic pathway inducer. One thing that needs to be highlighted from the presentation is, although this substance has this antioxidant activity or anti-angiogenesis activity, well, that doesn't actually or automatically mean that the substance will instantly overcome the problems of cancers or kill the cancers. It may prevent or reduce the severity, but not diminish the cancers. So we have finished the second topic presentations, and I would like to invite our presenters, which is Ms. Dila and Ms. Linta. And we would like to give the presenters an appreciations, which is the certificates of appreciations, which will be brought by our head of pharmacy Department of Universitas Muhammadiyah Bandung, Miss Apoteker Anis Puji Rahayu M.Pharm. Please welcome.
Okay, thank you, Miss Maudi, for the presenter, both of Miss Ardila and Miss Binta. It's such an honor to hear of your presentation, and I thank for your time to take to join in this course. And this is a certificate, please. First, for Miss Ardila, thank you so much, Miss Ardila, for great presentation and great discussion. And
You're welcome. Thank you, Miss Anis.
yeah, Miss Ardila. Okay. Next for Miss Dwinta. Okay, this is a certificate for Miss Dwinta as a presenter. Thank you so much, Miss Dwinta. And I will give pantun ya in Indonesia ya.
Yes.
Jalan-jalan ke
Thank
pasar
you.
baru.
Cakep.
Ya, jangan lupa membeli jajan.
Cakep.
Terima kasih atas materinya yang seru.
Cakep.
Semoga menambah banyak wawasan.
Cakep.
Amin.
Amin.
Masya Allah.
Thank you
I
for
really
all.
Thank you
love
very
pantun.
much for the pantun and the
Anis, I have a
Okay.
pantun too.
Oh yeah,
Miss
sure.
Maudi.
Let's hear
Okay.
it.
Balas pantun, balas pantun.
Balas pantun.
Every child needs their mama, because mama is child model style. If you don't want lymphoma, please maintain a healthy lifestyle.
Oh, it's
Cakep.
cakep. It's really nice.
Once
Masya
again,
Allah.
hectic. Okay, once again,
Once again.
hectic day is Monday. Breathe sound like asthma. Thank you for today. See you next year in summer school up at Aptfma.
Cakep. So yeah, we probably saw there's a spoiler, right? About the next year summer school. It's probably you want to join again and prepare yourself.
See
So
you next year. Okay, thank you, Miss Dila.
yeah.
Miss Maudi, sorry.
Yes. Thank you very much for your presence, Miss Anis Fujirahayu. And again, thank you very much for the presentations and the answers from our presenters, Miss Dwinta and Miss Ardila. And also, I would like to thank all the participants for your attention and enthusiasm in joining this program. So the overall agenda for the second topic presentation is finished. And the next sessions will be led by our Master of Ceremony. Please welcome Rizka.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Apotheker Maudina Betasari, MS Farm, as the moderator in second topic. Next event, we would like to present a video of culture in Bandung. Please enjoy.
Bandung adalah salah satu kota terbesar di Indonesia dan ibu kota Provinsi Jawa Barat. Terletak di dataran tinggi Jawa Barat pada ketinggian 715 meter atau 2.350 kaki di wilayah yang indah. Kota ini terkenal dengan hawanya yang sejuk dan dikelilingi oleh pegunungan. Pada zaman dahulu, Bandung dijuluki sebagai Paris Van Java atau Paris dari Jawa. Kota kembang merupakan sebutan lain untuk kota ini. Kota bersuhu dingin ini juga merupakan pusat sains dan pendidikan. Ada hampir 50 lembaga pendidikan tinggi di Bandung. Beberapa universitas terbaik adalah Institut Teknologi Bandung, Universitas Pajajaran, dan Universitas Katolik Parahyangan. Di utara Bandung, Observatorium Bosca adalah satu-satunya observatorium di Indonesia. Observatorium dimasukkan sebagai bagian dari Departemen Astronomi di Institut Teknologi Bandung. Di kota ini tercatat berbagai sejarah penting, salah satunya adalah pernah menjadi tempat berlangsungnya Konferensi Asia Afrika 1955, suatu pertemuan yang menyuarakan semangat anti-kolonialisme. Bandung dikenal akan sejumlah besar bangunan lama berarsitektur Belanda, di antaranya Gedung Merdeka dan Museum Asia Afrika, tempat berlangsungnya Konferensi Asia Afrika pada tahun 1955. Gedung Yayasan Pusat Kebudayaan, Museum Geologi Bandung, dan Museum Wangsit Mandala Siliwangi. Budaya Sunda dikenal dengan budaya yang sangat menjunjung tinggi sopan santun. Pada umumnya, karakter masyarakat Sunda yaitu ramah tamah atau somea, murah senyum, lemah lembut, dan sangat menghormati orang tua, sebagaimana tampak dalam pameo silih asih, silih asa, dan silih asuh, yang artinya saling mengasihi, saling menyempurnakan, atau memperbaiki diri, dan saling melindungi. Kebudayaan Sunda merupakan salah satu kebudayaan yang berkembang di Jawa Barat dengan bahasa utama yaitu bahasa Sunda. Undak-usuk bahasa adalah cara pemakaian bahasa yang disesuaikan dengan tingkatan sosial pemakai bahasa dalam masyarakat. Bandung memiliki beberapa kesenian khas, di antaranya wayang golek. Wayang golek merupakan kesenian tradisional dari Jawa Barat yang menampilkan dan membawakan alur sebuah cerita yang bersejarah. Wayang golek dimainkan oleh seorang dalang dan diiringi oleh nyanyian serta iringan musik tradisional Jawa Barat yang disebut dengan degung. Jaipong merupakan tarian tradisional dari Jawa Barat yang biasanya dimainkan oleh satu orang atau sekelompok penari dengan menggunakan pakaian khas Jawa Barat yang disebut kebaya serta diiringi musik tradisional. Degung. Degung merupakan sebuah kesenian Sunda yang digunakan sebagai musik pengiring atau pengantar pada acara hajatan. Degung ini merupakan gabungan dari peralatan musik khas Jawa Barat yaitu gendang, gong, kempul, saron, bonang, kacapi, suling, rebab, dan sebagainya. Calung. Calung adalah kesenian yang dibawakan dengan cara memukul atau mengetuk bambu yang telah dipotong dan dibentuk sedemikian rupa dengan pemukul atau pentungan kecil sehingga menghasilkan nada-nada yang khas. Kacapi suling. Kacapi suling adalah permainan alat musik tradisional yang hanya menggunakan kacapi dan suling. Kacapi suling ini biasanya digunakan untuk mengiringi nyanyian Sunda yang pada umumnya nyanyian atau lagunya dibawakan oleh seorang penyanyi perempuan yang dalam bahasa Sunda disebut sinden. Selain kesenian, Bandung juga terkenal dengan seni religinya. Beberapa di antaranya yaitu Masjid Raya Bandung. Masjid Raya Bandung merupakan ikon kota Bandung. Arsitekturnya megah dan modern dengan halaman berumput sintetis yang luas. Masjid Al-Irsyad. Masjid Al-Irsyad adalah karya mantan wali kota Bandung, Ridwan Kamil. Bangunannya berbentuk kubus, banyak lubang dan berpola lafaz Allah. Masjid Agung Al-Jabar Terapung. Masjid Agung Al-Jabar Terapung ini berada di tengah danau kecil. Area masjid dilengkapi fasilitas manasik haji, perpustakaan, dan ruang pertemuan. Masjid Cipaganti. Masjid Cipaganti adalah salah satu masjid tertua di Bandung. Bangunan masjid ini khas Jawa dan Eropa. Pada kebudayaan Sunda, keseimbangan magis dipertahankan dengan cara melakukan upacara-upacara adat, sedangkan keseimbangan sosial masyarakat Sunda melakukan gotong royong untuk mempertahankannya. Itulah cermin budaya dan kultur masyarakat Sunda yang membedakannya dari kebudayaan-kebudayaan lain.
Okay, finish. Next event, we would like to present a video of. Next session is post-test. We can access the post-test link in the chat room and answer the question in 10 minutes. Again, the post-test processing time is complete. Please all participants send your answer now. Next schedule is photo sessions. For all participants, please turn on the Zoom video.
Baik, ayo saya izin untuk memandu dalam speech ini. Mohon yang belum menyalakan kamera, menyalakan kameranya ya. Baik. Oke. Ayo untuk partisipan dan pemateri serta panitia yang lainnya harap untuk menyalakan kameranya. Baik, hitungan ketiga saya SS ya. Ayo senyum. 3, 2, 1. Oke, untuk slide selanjutnya. Oke, senyum semuanya. 3, 2, 1. Oke, mantap ya. Oke, selanjutnya untuk slide 3. Baik, 1, 2, 3. Oke. Oke, lagi. Iya, sekarang slide selanjutnya. Baik, nyalakan kameranya. 1, 2, 3. Oke, terima kasih atas partisipasi kalian. Saya pamit undur diri. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have finished all the agenda for today's summer school. Thank you for your enthusiasm and attention. We hope the participants are inspired and can gain more useful knowledge. And then I ask the Master of Ceremony say thank you for your attention, and I apologize if there are wrong words or words they are less pleasing to the audience. Billahi fisal wal haq fastabiqul khairat. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for all.
Thank you.
Jawa Barat merupakan sebuah provinsi yang terletak di bujur 104 derajat 8 menit sampai 108 derajat 41 menit bujur timur, lintang 5 derajat 50 menit sampai 7 derajat 50 menit lintang selatan, dengan ibu kota provinsi yaitu Bandung. Bandung merupakan salah satu kota ikonik Jawa Barat dengan keberagaman tradisinya dan ciri khasnya yang unik. Seperti Gedung Sate, Gedung Merdeka, Museum Konferensi Asia Afrika, Monumen Bandung Lautan Api, Monumen Perjuangan Rakyat Jawa Barat, Masjid Raya Bandung, dan adat busana kebaya dan pangsi. Kota Bandung merupakan salah satu kota pendidikan. Terdapat banyak sekali perguruan tinggi, salah satunya Universitas Muhammadiyah Bandung, yang berlokasi di Jalan Soekarno-Hatta nomor 752, Cipadung Kidul, Kecamatan Panjilekan, Kota Bandung, Jawa Barat. Letak universitas cukup strategis dan memiliki daya tarik tersendiri, dengan gedung ciri khasnya membuat terkesan elegan dan unik. Tak lupa dengan fasilitas yang lengkap dan beragam. Terdapat lobi kampus, fasilitas pendaftaran, selasar gedung utama, akses lift, ruang rektorat, ruang administrasi dan umum, ruang keuangan, ruang sistem informasi, ruang biro kerjasama dan LP3M, ruang biro akademik, ruang Kaporodi, ruang dosen, ruang kelas perkuliahan, ballroom, ruang perpustakaan, toilet, dan musola. Terdapat 18 program studi di Universitas Muhammadiyah Bandung, yaitu Teknik Elektro, Teknik Informatika, Teknik Industri, Teknologi Pangan, Bioteknologi, Farmasi, Agribisnis, Ilmu Komunikasi, Psikologi, Administrasi Publik, Kriya Tekstil and Fashion, Akuntansi, Manajemen, Pendidikan Agama Islam, Pendidikan Anak Usia Dini, Ekonomi Syariah, Komunikasi Penyiaran Islam, dan Hukum Keluarga Islam. Visi Universitas Muhammadiyah Bandung yaitu menjadi cikal bakal Islamic Technopreneurial University yang unggul melalui penguatan kelembagaan dan penyelenggaraan catur dharma yang bermutu tinggi. Cita-cita besar Universitas Muhammadiyah Bandung adalah melahirkan para teknopreneur muda Islami yang selain memiliki kemampuan akademis, juga memiliki sikap mental dan entrepreneur skill atau kewirausahaan, serta memiliki kemampuan dalam memanfaatkan kemajuan teknologi. Dengan demikian, lulusan Universitas Muhammadiyah Bandung akan memiliki peluang yang besar untuk membangun kehidupan yang lebih baik untuk dirinya maupun lingkungan sekitarnya.
Oke, terima kasih semua Pak Aziz dan kawan-kawan. Terima kasih banyak. Izin live dari room. Mungkin ini recordingnya yang bisa di stop dan juga streamingnya. Sampai jumpa di besok ya, dan juga event summer kurs Aptma yang selanjutnya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kami Bu Dwinta.
Izin live ya.